You know you need to do reels and you know that you have to get them started, but you have no idea how to do that. This is for you. I'm going to take you through the bare basics of creating a trends related reel, plus talk a little bit about the planning that's needed. Then we can go through other videos and talk about different types of reels, but let's get started with the simplest one. No transitions, easy as pie to make you get started on your reels journey. Before we jump into creating your reel, I'm going to walk you through some of the things you need to understand about reels before we go. Now, Instagram reels and Facebook reels and TikTok have all one thing in common. The most important thing to start with is the ones that help you increase your audience, and we call that reach. And to do that, we need to make sure that we're using sounds that Instagram wants us to use. We're using images and the way that Instagram wants us to do things to push that information out. So we're going to cover that first and talk about ideal length times and how to find trending audio. So what we want to talk about first is how to make sure that you're ready to create your reel. And I want to jump in and create everything too. Believe me, I love trying and jumping in before I really plan. In fact, half my examples, even the ones in here, are ones with me doing completely that. But we want to have a think about a few things. So the first thing is you want to think about what stage of the customer journey you want to be talking to people. Most of them, I would call it the noticed or the attention stage. So the people that have never heard of you before, don't have a strong relationship with you, and just want to know more about you or find out about you. The next thing you want to think about is, what is the feel for this reel? Is it to make you sound relatable to other people? Do you want people to go, oh, I really like the way that person interacts. I want to hang out with that person more. Do you want them to be solving a problem? Do you want to see if you can find a way to resolve a struggle that they've got, or answering a problem where they go, wow, you were clever there. I really want to deal with that. Do you want to build a desire for what you've got, make them go, oh my gosh, that looks amazing, or I want to do that? Is that what you want to do? Or, as I said before, really it might be a promotional one. So those are the things you need to think about first before you create your reel. I'm going to do a trend or a trending audio today, but there's heaps of other types of reels you can do. There's literally, I've got about 18 different types of reels you can do, like voiceovers and storytelling and recipes and how-tos and interviews and all these different ones. We are focusing on trends today. The next stage we need to do after we've done that is to find trending audio. And I tend to do this in chunks. I go and do research. So I'm going to show you in the next bit just where I find those trending audios so that you can use that as well. Let's get ready to find some trending audio. I go to my personal account for this because for some reason my business account doesn't show trending audios. Take a little look at the bottom left hand corner for the arrow sign. That means it's trending. If you don't have that option, you can just find reels that have got the same sound over and over again. Save those ones. I like to do this in batches so that when I'm ready to create my reels, I've got 3 or 4 different ones that I can use to create it. Now we're going to go through and record the video. So we're going to go back and find that save sound that I selected as one of the trending audios. And I'm going to select that video. And then that is going to give me the sound that I need to create my audio. Then I'm going to come back to the screen, that's me there, and it's going to play the sound so I can decide how to make it longer or shorter. So I'm choosing to make it the whole length of the sound. And then I'm going to come through, and to make my life easier, I'm going to set a timer up. So I've got that for 3 seconds. You can make it for 10. It can be a bit fiddly, and I'm going to set this to 2 times speed, which means that it is half the speed. This is going to make it easier for me to do a voiceover. Now, spoiler alert, I did quite a bad job of this, so I decided to also show you how to do it with 1 times speed, and then I lip sync the words, which is just at the end. So you need to learn and practice this a few times. You need to get going. And so I create the sound talking slower like this, so that when it comes back at full speed, this is me doing it now, it is me normally talking at the right speed as well. So I've got that going. So that is one way that you can get the words and the music synced to fit your entire time that you're doing. You put the musical sound on first. Now this is me doing it at single speed, and I often prefer to do that now. I've become more confident. I find it easier, just as easier to do that. It looks more natural, and I've got it at 1 speed, and I can do it. I can set it and put it on the timer and set it, and sometimes it takes a couple of goes to go and do it right. I've got to think about how I'm doing it. Now the other thing I want to show you on here is I'm using natural light to get great light, but even when I did that, the light wasn't particularly good where I was, and I really probably should have thought about making that light better, adding a ring light to get better light doing it. It is really important to make sure you've got good good lighting, that you're not always just close to the camera all the time because people want to see the whole body or want to see you moving.
I don't mean to brag, but my videos are enjoyed by well over 4 people.
Who told you that?
Now we're ready to add some captions. So as an aside, I tend to batch my reels in one go and create them, and then I'd come back and create my captions. And this is where I'm going to come back and have a think about my call to action, my core content, and what I want my hook to be. Sometimes I'll show those on the screen, sometimes I won't, sometimes I'll use them in the caption. But you need to type the words in and add them in. So this is me adding my key part, and you'll see that there will be little guiding rails to show me where I can place it on the screen so that it will be seen in the feed. You can't put it right at the top or the bottom or too far to the left or right or get chopped off. So here's me typing. I can choose to have this animated, I can choose to have a background, I can choose the different colors. So I'm actually going to choose a color here. I'm going to use the pencil to pick out a part in the background. I fluffed around a bit for this, to be honest. So while we're doing that, and then once you've got that sun, you put that in there. I like to make it left aligned so it makes it easy to read. I place it on there, so I've got it. I've chosen to have that the whole way through, but what I could do is I could come to the slider and select when that's going to be showing, which I've done with the little CC one, so it just shows at a particular time. You'll see it coming up, and then I'm going to add an effect because the lighting was a little bit off, so I'm going to make the lighting a bit easier by using a filter to make it easy to write. Once I've done that, I'm pretty much done creating my reel. All that's left to do is to add my caption and add my hashtags, and if I want to, I'll save it to draft, ready to post at an optimal time. That's it. I have just one more question for you. Are you going to give it a go? And I want to see your reel. Post it in the comments so I can have a look.